When I was young, instead of gnawing on bugs and pissing on car tires, I got on Roblox and played AUT for a couple hours with my friends. The way the game works is you collect arrows that gives you stands. Rockets can be used to remove these stands. Some items are used as evolutions or just acts as arrows but different. And some bosses drop you stuff. All these have a timer and a chance of spawning, meaning there's not really a game to play most of the time. You just sit there with your dick in your hand, waiting for the game to come to you. By the way, this was a trend within the Roblox JoJo empire, meaning every single one of those games were doing this bullshit. With the only difference being the stands or specs they got in the game, basically just adding more prizes to the slot machine. From various fandoms like JoJo, Undertale, Hollow Knight, and fucking Walmart. Ugly fucking UI too. And then during quarantine, they deleted the game off of Roblox and started posting sneak peeks for a new one, still featuring that shitty fucking UI. New and better stand models and higher quality animation that's not stolen from another game. My mind was rotting from doing absolutely nothing, so this was really hype to me. They also tried to have some combat balance, meaning someone can't just press one button and nuke the entire map per se. Game released and the server broke. Too many bedrotters like me clicked on the game all at once and broke the server. But after that, it was all fine. A little bit of glitches and bugs here and there. UI is still ugly as shit, and the game actually feels like it has balance now. Easy to do when your old game felt like this, but despite all that, this was definitely a step in the right direction. However, their new game carried the vile ass rat stench from the older game, like some stands being downright fucking unplayable or just impossible to fight against, and since most stands now is balanced, it made the issue worse, cause at least back then everything was OP. Gambling mechanics from the older game is still here, since making players stay on the game for legitimate reasons are just too damn fucking hard. You gotta work for the gameplay on these grounds, bitch. Private servers cost Robux too, so if you're poor you'll be stuck fist fighting the homeless in main game. Some players also found that there are infinite combos, meaning you get hit once you are dead. I thought this was the casino, not Yomi Hustle. Some of these are exaggerated though, since most of them would only work if your opponent was paralyzed from the neck down or dead. And then the Halloween update release, which had my favorite map of all time and new issues that would carry on to newer updates, like every NPC not taking stun, NPCs flying out the map for no reason, never to be seen again, newly added stands having absurd requirements to even be obtained, some of them don't even work. The new bosses are also raid bosses. No private server means death for the impoverished. But then a YouTuber came along and complained about it, making the devs finally listen and fix the drop rates and gave the bosses stun. So if you're not a YouTuber, just pronounce the developers dead, because they're not gonna listen to you at all. Then the Christmas update came in January, which I don't remember what happened, and then the Valentine update came, which I also don't remember. Only thing I remember is that they brought back my favorite spec, which was Fight Saber, that later had to be put down because of some combat rework stuff. Just know that even when the spec couldn't be used, I still kept it in my inventory, which was useless because they never fucking brought it back again. Summer update, we're devolving now. Bosses don't have stun again. Ragdolls introduced, which broke things even further for the NPCs. But guys, the trees can move now. Head dev later states in the comment section complaining about the update, I don't like playing this shit. Damn. Then they added Minos Prime, a really annoying boss to fight, taking no stun and can't be grabbed. Then 2.2 came, which was the pinnacle of their greediness and a foreshadowing of the disaster that's about to come. In this update, they introduced Asgore, which was a new ability dropping from the Asgore boss, spawning every hour and only has a 1% chance to drop the ability. The boss too just had this really weird fucking requirement of only giving the drop if you use a specific ability that mostly consisted of grab moves, even though the boss itself can't be grabbed. I love the fact that they probably send that god awful drop rate in their updates channel, like, yeah, this shit heat, they'll love this. Then they released one of the worst updates again, which introduced the PvE leveling system, letting you upgrade certain stats like attack or defense. All this did was force the players to monotonously boringly grind the same fucking enemies if they don't want to get one shot by players who did grind. Then they also re-added an old spec called Umbra, which required 1 million U coins to obtain. Mind you, every enemy that's not a boss only drops like 2,000. They later then fucked the system up again by adding ascension, cool way to say rebirth by the way, that basically just broke the level cap, meaning you can be even more OP if one-shotting your enemies isn't enough. There's also a new wave mode which was added to lessen the grind for U coins and ascension materials, but it was still ass. Either remake the entire system or just don't add it in the first place. Then comes the disaster that's been One Piece level foreshadowed through the countless bad decisions they made that led up to this update. The gambling update. First problem, after tanking the shitty ping that plagued everyone in the game, this pops out like a fucking jump scare, basically telling everyone that this game is as good as dead. It's like I escaped Genshin just to come back to more Genshin. Cause fuck doing quests, we like gambling more. It's like everyone in the development team just all collectively decided to take every bullshit from another Roblox JoJo game and just combine it to make the shittiest Roblox JoJo game ever, the merger. I'm saying this cause the banner feature they added in the traits, which you also have to gamble for, basically punishing people who rightfully just don't want to spend money on the shitty shitty game. There's common traits, rare traits, epic traits, legendary traits, mythic traits, with all of them having a chance to be hexed, which makes the already OP traits even more OP. Is that Angel? And as if the update isn't nearly bad enough, now you have to level up to unlock your moves that you randomly get from cards. Stop trying to be deep looking. Cause again, it wasn't bad enough that you needed to travel the 7 seas on foot and fistfight the inhabitants of North Sentinel Island just to get a stand. Now you have to build them up like a Lego piece. There's also Boundless Tower, which is just wave mode, nobody cares. But what I love most about this whole thing is that the devs gained some character development. Like, they just stopped listening to everyone and anyone. Before they were like, we gotta listen to YouTubers. And now they just don't give a fuck. After releasing their shittiest fucking update, they finally decided to be like,
nah, I'ma do my own thing.
Not gonna lie, I think it's funny as fuck. The fact that someone can remain this stagnant in their ability to make easily avoidable mistakes is both impressive and very sad. They tried doing this, turning over a new leaf shit, balancing the game to avoid this, but just ended up going back to their old ways. It's just the old game again, but with better graphics, which doesn't really matter, because even if you spend hours and hours polishing absolute trash, it's still trash. Do I blame them for taking a huge steamy dump on the game? No. I feel like this decision to revert the changes they made came from them seeing the player count back before the gambling update was a thing, usually averaging between 1k to 3k players at most. And most actual good games on Roblox just never get the recognition they deserve to, mostly because the platform is just full of kids. Am I saying everyone should forgive the dev? Absolutely not. Game is still shit and will remain that way so long as they refuse to listen to anyone that supported the change back when the game started, just started. Even when Eclipse, one of their biggest critic and former testers, said that the game self-destructed, they still refused to change. My body will perish before I stop supporting children's gambling, said the furry. Playing the game now gives me as much enjoyment as playing Genshin Impact, which is not at all. Back then, I used to store juice boxes through straws and eat chips from a bowl like a dog. That is the game's demographic. I also never mentioned skins because I don't think it really matters. They're just cosmetics. Doesn't affect the game that much. Anyways, how do I end this video? I love AUT career sex. I love AUT.